Well. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here. We're going to be talking just just a discussion on this Battlefield 5. Hope you fellas are doing well. Now, I've just watched it and the trailer. It's interesting. And you see, for me, I mean, look. First off, the graphics. The graphics look absolutely bloody amazing. They look real good, eh? Those graphics look crazy. As well as, did someone put a filter over the top of the trailer? Because it looks real vibrant, eh? The colors are just crazy bright. Like the greens were just popped out of the screen and slapped me in the face. I'm like, damn, that's a vibrant green. All the grass and that's just like, whoa. As well as, I was kind of wondering what the next Battlefield game will be called, because I was thinking maybe, since the last one was Battlefield 1, I thought, okay, so will this be Battlefield 2? I mean, I just thought, because, that's what they sort of do. They like to go backwards and forwards, but no, apparently this is Battlefield 5, so it's like, okay, so I've got Battlefield 4, then we got Hardline, then it's Battlefield 1, and now it's Battlefield 5, so it's like, I'm like, dude, can somebody just decide which one, like, what's happening? What's going on here? Are we 2? Is this Battlefield 2 or 5 or 1943 or like, come on, man, what's happening here? Man, they need to work on their titles, because I'm just like, ugh. But whatever. This is 5, Battlefield 5. For the most part, it looked really good. It looked bloody good, man, the explosions and that, but it did look scripted, though. This is a trailer, not gameplay. But I do know that how the second half was sort of like a POV view, where you had the fella, pick up the gun and then start shooting the other enemies, and then you had the HUD and all of that, which I thought was pretty cool, but it looked too scripted, and I'm pretty sure it was a cutscene, a cutscene trailer, but not a gameplay trailer. But yeah, so that's that. For me, I thought it was. Now, I don't know about anyone else, but I did feel a bit confused, because I wasn't too sure what the time period was exactly, because I heard some rumours that it may be being modern. I heard some rumours it might be World War II, and all of that type of stuff. So for me, when I actually saw it, because I didn't know beforehand, I just watched the trailer, as is. I didn't know anything else about it. So after I finished the trailer, I had to go look through the comments. I looked it up to see, is Battlefield 5 set in World War II, or because you had the tanks and the vehicles, they looked World War II-esque, but then you had this female character with like a hook for a hand, and I'm like, wait, is she like handicapped? I'm like, eh? What? Huh? So I really wasn't too sure. I was like, okay, so I've got a handicapped soldier. It's like, is this in modern day? But I can't, because the vehicles looked a bit weird. Were like World War II looking with it. So I was a bit confused. I had to look it up. But no, apparently Battlefield 5 is set in World War II era. But from the looks of it, DICE is going for a more arcadey multiplayer, which was interesting. But at the same time, I'm like, well, you could have put it as a modern day multiplayer. You could have had the multiplayer set in a modern day. That way you could actually do whatever you want to and have this big pot or this big stew of just different ideas. And you can just sort of mess about, do your own thing, and you don't have to worry about being historically accurate or being authentic or anything. If it was modern day, then you could really do whatever you want to. and you're not tied down by any historical stuff in that. But DICE went for World War Two, and I think I'm a little bit confused, and I think a lot of other people are confused and a bit angry about it. For me, I mean, look, this is how I see it. It's like, okay, so Battlefield 5 multiplayer must be more of an arcadey type multiplayer this time around, because I know Battlefield 1 and I play Battlefield 1. That made me feel like I was there, though. Like, that's the thing, is that with Battlefield 1 I felt like I was there. I was cosplaying almost, like I was reenacting World War One, and the maps and that being real places, and you had the narrator talking about the war and talking about the British soldiers advancing, and then you had the Nazis. Oh, well, not the Nazis, but the Germans, and they're coming over to conquer the certain area. And then you had the Turks, and it was so cool. It felt like I was in a history lesson almost, and I was being taught all this stuff that I didn't know about World War One, and it was kind of like a history lesson type game. And it really got me immersed, and I loved it. I really loved that Battlefield 1 experience, and I played the campaign too, which was good. So I really felt like Battlefield 1 was like almost a reenactment game of World War 1, with all the uniforms, weapons, vehicles, all of that stuff. I enjoyed it. So with Battlefield 5, I think that's what a lot of people, including myself, were hoping, since Battlefield 5 is set in World War Two. I'm sure a lot of people were hoping for that same experience, but instead of World War One, we're in World War Two. But everything else is, but everything's authentic. Weapons, soldier uniforms, guns, weapons, all of that stuff, vehicles. But after watching the trailer, it's like, oh no, DICE has taken a different sort of. As I said before, this is more arcadey, and I take it you can customize your character, because there's a character with as I said before, a handicapped character with a hook for a hand, and I'm like, okay, so I take it you can customize your character, which I think you can. You can customize your character with a hook for a hand, a peg leg, and an eye patch, apparently, and you can run around the map looking like a pirate, looking like Captain Hook out here. and his band of misfits and all that, like, oh man, bandanas and all, and eye patches and all. So, I mean, it's interesting, although I think for me, yeah, for me, if I had a choice, I think I would have. If DICE were to do World War Two, I think for me, if I had a choice, I would want them to be historically accurate and authentic to the timeline. But that's just me. Do what they done with Battlefield 1. Like, I thought that was perfect. I know that there was a bit of leniency with history and that, but for the most part, Battlefield 1 was pretty authentic, in my opinion, and I thought they done a bloody good job. A really bloody good job with that Battlefield 1. And that's kind of what I wanted for Battlefield 5 if they were going to do World War 2, which they have, but as I said before, it's more arcadey looking, and a little bit goofy. I don't want to sound a bit ratchet, or I don't want to put anybody down. I don't want to put the people on DICE down in that, because I know that they've worked hard, but bruh, it looked a bit goofy, and I was a little bit confused. I didn't know what I was exactly looking at, if this was like a modern day futuristic-y type Battlefield 5, or I don't know, but to me it felt like it was a big pot, and DICE was just chucking anything they want to in Battlefield 5's multiplayer, which is fine. I mean, at the end of the day, this is DICE's game. That's how I see it. And if they want to put female characters in there, if they want to put handicapped people in there with peg legs and hooks for hands, and if they want to put transgender people in there, I mean, look, this is their game. If that's what they want to do, then they have every right to do so. And we as consumers, I guess, have to just either take it or leave it. Either take it as it is, or just leave it. And that's how I see it. For me, yeah, it was also confusing. The trailer was also a little bit confusing because I didn't actually see any Nazi soldiers neither. So again, it was like, are you sure? Like, is this really World War Two? Because I didn't see no Nazis. I didn't see no Nazi soldiers, no black trench coats or anything, black boots or nothing. Or even the swastika. I didn't see no swastika at all in the trailer. So so I don't know, and I'm very interested to see if you can customize your character. Will they still put the swastika in there? Can you dress up as a Nazi, like a proper Nazi soldiers, and will they still have the proper uniforms that the Americans wore during that time period, and what the Germans wore in that time period? Will they? Will the authentic uniforms be there, or will it just be just like a mashup of different ideas that they've just thrown in to the pot, or stew, or whatever? Geez, I'm hungry. All this talk about stews and yes. Anyways, I'm hungry. But yeah, that's just my thoughts. I mean, I didn't think that it was anything sexist or anything. I think it's just that people wanted to cosplay. I think people just wanted to be immersed in World War Two, and they wanted to really reenact World War Two, just like Battlefield 1. Again, I thought they done bloody good, and it was like a history lesson with the narrator and that, and you had the all of that type of stuff. It was great. It was absolutely great, and the real names and all of that stuff. It was cool, but this looks like a more, as I keep saying, an arcadey multiplayer. I'm interested to see what the single player is, because maybe the campaign, maybe that's where all of the authenticity is. Maybe they've shoved all of the all the historic accuracy and the authenticity, maybe they shoved that into the campaign and left the multiplayer to be just a mashup of whatever. Maybe that's what this is. So I'm interested to see what the campaign is. Maybe that's going to be more historically authentic. So I'm interested to see what the trailer is for the campaign, because maybe that's what they've done. As well as, yeah, and maybe in the campaign, maybe that's where we'll see the Nazis. Maybe that's where we'll see the swastika. Maybe that's where we'll see what these Germans did, and that, and I'm interested to see what DICE are going to do with the campaign, because I've watched a few documentaries on World War Two, and I have to say some of them had me in tears. Like I had some tears rolling down my cheek. I'm serious. I was shocked at what these Nazis did to the Jewish people, to the Jewish children. Even to the children, I couldn't fathom it. It was just horrible. I just didn't realize what they did, to the Jewish people, and that these Nazis were not men. They were monsters, man. These Nazis are no joke. Like, I know a lot of people are throwing the word Nazi left, right, and centre, but, bro, these people were the real deal. These Nazis were monsters. They were not men. They were definitely not men. They were something else I don't know. They were out of it. But, so hopefully maybe we get to see some of that, what we see in the movies and what we see in the documentaries. Maybe we'll see that in the campaign, so I'm sort of crossing my fingers and hoping that they'll put that into the campaign. But as far as multiplayer goes, I think they're going for just an arcadey, funny, goofy multiplayer, or at least that's what the trailer gave me. That was the vibe that the trailer gave me, anyways. But yeah, that's my thoughts. Hope I didn't ramble too long. Yeah. Please be safe. Hope you fellas are well. Keep yourselves safe, and I'll catch you fellas up in my next video. Peace.